everybody. Already at week 6 for college football. We're wrapping up the Friday night slate. Got a couple games winding down now. Happy to get off these 2-game slates personally as we head into
Yes.
Saturday with the 12-gamer. So really excited for that. You all could probably tell earlier as I was already just diving into that on a Friday afternoon. Usually don't get to that till Friday night after everything's locking, but pretty ready to go for Saturday. So how are you feeling about the slate, Dustin?
Thanks for having me again. Just got back from a little dinner happy hour and ready to break down. Honestly, just pulled up the sheet, so gonna just take it off the cuff as you will and break it down with you here. So,
all right,
we'll get it going.
I got the little one. Look, sounds like he's woke up here. So,
Just don't reset the damn computer and make me go on my own here in a minute.
I think we're good on that.
Okay. All right.
So we'll go game by game.
Yep.
I think in the last show that I think I did one late night. I think it was week 3. I just got this sheet, the team matchups tab up on all of our sheets for college football, and it's really helped me be able to look at each game game by game. But then we still, of course, have the position by position tabs. But I really like this game by game breakdown by position to see relevant stats for each position at running back and receiver, especially for these teams. So we'll just start it out, go game by game. The first one up, we've got Oklahoma, Texas, the rivalry, 60.5 total. Texas at home is a 5.5-point favorite. I'll let you start off on this one. How are you feeling about the rivalry here?
You're gonna let me start off, okay? Well, I appreciate that. Let me take a little swig here and analyze some numbers. All right. Projected points. There we go. Team rank. Honestly, I like Texas a lot here. I mean, Quinn Ewers, he's just done it. I mean, you can't discount that guy. And then we got Xavier. He's 6,300. That's a misprice right off the rip. So Worthy is definitely in play. Man, you put me on the damn spot here, Dane.
I agree with you on Ewers, and everything that I've seen so far this week from people. As far as content going over the slate, is everybody says he's too highly priced, and I think he's squarely in play in tournaments. 5 rushing touchdowns on the year is something different for him. 75 rush yards. It's just something. It's unlocked his DFS upside that we haven't seen in the past, and I just don't think people are truly catching on to how good this offense is as a whole and how good he's been playing. It's not just a distribute and he's going to put up his 15 points and Worthy.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you put me on the spot like that right out the rip, but no, yours is definitely fully in play to the max here. I'm flabbergasted and dumbfounded that Drake May and all these guys are above yours and what he's done. Like, I can understand if him and Gabriel was right there side by side, but Jordan Travis he should be number 1 against your Hokies, but
so I mean, Ewers is definitely not. I mean, he's not a priority for me. as far as one of the top like 3 options on the slate. But man, if you want to stack this game up, in the past we've seen this thing shoot out crazy. I don't expect that this time. I think the defenses are pretty solid. But Jonathan Brooks has been getting a massive workload in this backfield. Baxter mixes in some, but Brooks has been getting, as you can see, 17 touches or 17 carries per game here in these first 5 of the year. He's really grown over the last couple weeks. 5 touchdowns. He's one of my favorite running back plays on the slate. So I can definitely, he would be the priority. I could use him as a one-off in this game if you wanted to. You mentioned the receivers. Worthy is in play. Adonai Mitchell, the transfer from Georgia, is very in play as well. Both are over a 20% target share. I do feel that Worthy has a bigger upside, but Mitchell's had some solid games and he's 900 cheaper. Still question mark for me around Jatavian Sanders. Yeah. He got hurt early last week and never came back. Supposedly he's going to play. I think that's something definitely to watch. I think he'll be limited.
He's a fave for me.
He's going to have no. Yeah, I mean he's going to have no ownership's the only thing, but I probably won't get there personally.
In a GPP, you want a little sliver, but not too much. He looked pretty banged up from what I saw.
Yeah, and they just don't really have a point to push him at this point. I mean, it's a big game.
No.
But, he's got – they mentioned it on the broadcast last week. I mean, he's going to be one of the top couple tight end
he has
prospects in the draft. He's not going to risk that.
So, yeah. He can set out the rest of the year and still be top first round.
Who is?
Well, Lil Dane.
He's ready to go. Who's going to win, Texas or Oklahoma? He's not.
Say hook 'em horns.
On the Oklahoma side, I don't have a ton of interest unless you're stacking it up. Andrew Anthony, Jalil Farouk. I mean, there's just so many good receiver plays on the slate. I don't think I can play them. Yeah. I just don't think I can get to those. We'll talk about in the next game guys like Neighbors, Thomas. For
you can
LSU.
never count out Stoops right now.
5,800 is a tough price for him.
Coach's
he
son,
does have the biggest target share.
Coach's son, he's going to get the calls.
Yeah. The backfield is just such a split. Major, Tawi Walker. Those guys just split so much, and Gabriel's a high price. So I'm much more interested in the Texas side, like we said.
Sure.
But I'm good on that game. LSU Missouri is going to be one of the most popular games on the slate, a 63.5 total. LSU on the road's a 5.5 point favorite, and they just screwed the pricing in this entire game. Neighbors is 6,500, a 30% target share. Brian Thomas, a 23% target share at 6,100. On the other side, you've got Luther Burden, who has a 36% target share and is 6,900. Those guys should all be around 85, in my opinion. And Jaden Daniels, 9,000, too cheap for him as well. So all those guys are top plays on the slate. You can mix in other receivers from Missouri, especially Theo Weiss, Mookie Cooper are both in play. And then Brady Cook, I would say he gets pretty popular. We've not seen him run as much as we have in the past, but he does have 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. So I still think the floor, the rushing floor is there for him. And then if you want to just kind of get completely different in this game, Logan Diggs has taken on much more of a role in the backfield for them. And I think he's in play at 6,200 if you want to pivot off of some of this passing game. Any thoughts on Missouri specifically or the Missouri backfield? I'm pretty much out on that side, just kind of sticking to the receivers for them.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the passing offense there, trying to take in what you said, and then the odds and the total there. Missouri and LSU. I never thought I'd see the day that both of them would be a top 15 offense of passing. So, um, might be a high scoring game because apparently both defenses suck here. We're going to go to team matchups. And like you said, Burden, Weiss, Cooper, definitely in play. What's up, Lil Dane? And then, no, I think Neighbors Thomas and Daniels. That's definitely a big stack. Will it pay off on the road? Missouri, I don't know if I'd consider it a tough place to play, but they just were in a barn burner. I don't know. They might have a little bit of fumes running on the gas tank there and going to Missouri. I might stay away from this one, honestly, and just take my chances. It's a big call.
Yeah. If you're staying away from this one, you're going to be different, just right there.
Yep.
Neighbors. I mean, Neighbors is
what's
probably
next?
going to be.
You know what
Let
the
me
next
see
one
what he's
is.
projecting.
Is the only reason I'm going into that statement.
Neighbors is projecting at 65% ownership. I mean, if you're playing
Perfect.
cash games,
You gotta have him.
Yeah, you got to have probably at least three pieces from this game. Burden is probably the priority, along with Neighbors, and then probably
Yep.
Daniels. Those would be the top three, and then Thomas 4 if you wanted to mix him in too. And I don't even. I mean, you could even potentially play Brady Cook on the other side if you wanted to, but that I'm kind of sticking to those 4 that I mentioned. Maybe mixing in another one of those Missouri receivers.
Yeah, honestly, I might fade that one just to be completely different.
So that
Because
means the next one you're going Maryland and Ohio State. Your boys 57 total, projected for 38 as usual, and a 19.5 point favorite. So I'll let you lead this one. It sounds to me like you're going towards the sub 5% options at receiver of Marvin Harrison and Emeka Egbuka.
I mean, you have 2 NFL receivers ready to go that could plug and play in most teams on Sundays. And then, this quarterback situation I'm not a fan of, but if he just gets him the ball, man, these guys are something else. Tua or Tua's brother. If you
I
game
might just
sack
turn that
those,
entire side red. No. That price tag on little
Justin,
Tua is the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
I'll agree with you on that. I'll take McCord over him
Oh yeah.
because Maryland on the road, and you got Talua coming into the shoe, higher price, and Kyle McCord. No, that's not going to happen. Seriously, they've been down a lot of games early, and seriously, this is happening. Wow, just wow.
What do you think about this Ohio State backfield? Do you think Henderson has got enough of a workload now to consider him?
Nope.
It's really frustrated me over the last 2 years with
No,
him. But.
no, absolutely not. You have a 3-headed monster between all the above. Travion, and then Micah or Mayan and Trainum, and then even Hayden. No, I don't like any of the running backs for OSU, honestly.
Yeah.
If any, I mean Travion's got to be the one, but you could take a discount at $1,400 less, go to Mayan, and still have that upside with the blowout potential.
Yeah, I think I would fall in a hole before the day came that I played Mayan Williams, but I
I know
cannot
you're.
stand
I
to
know.
play
I
that
know.
guy.
Yeah, that's your favorite one. But no,
Oh no.
running backs, and watch one of the Ohio State running backs burn us. But that's a risk I'm willing to take.
If you are stacking up if you are going to play McCord, you had this call in probably, I think it was the first show that we did together early this year. But I am very surprised, to be honest, of the volume that Cade Stover, the tight end, has got. A 16% target share, 5.5 targets per game. I mean, he's
Got to get
averaging
to him.
4 for 60.
Yep.
4,600 is a pretty good price. So it helps you with some salary relief if you play McCord, Egbuka, and Stover, or Harrison and Stover.
Mix it. Yeah, mix
really
and
like
match.
that.
Yeah, mix and match Stover with your favorite Harrison or Buka boy, and then man, Stover and Fleming might be deadly too, because if they try to, do some crazy shit with Harrison and Buka, and Stover and Fleming have a game, because Fleming, you'll be hearing that name on Sunday, and if they go off one game, and that's a difference maker too. But there's so many variables. But then, like I said, Maryland's gonna. I just have a gut feeling it's going to be a high scoring game, and Justin Jones.
If it is, you're going to want some of these receivers. Even if not, I mean, they're projected for 38.
Yeah, no, literally,
it's within 3 touchdowns. If the game's within 3 touchdowns, they're going to still be out there. So,
Dyches or Justin Jones. I know they're Dyches.
I can't play anybody on that side.
Yep,
no way.
Prather, Dutch, like they literally can have a night.
Yep.
But all right, let's move on.
They have all 5 of those guys are over a 10% target share, averaging from 3.8 to 5.8 targets per game that I have there on the sheet. So it's not like we even got a guy that is going to get volume and just not a good matchup. I mean, we saw what they did to Notre Dame. I don't see going there.
No.
But I'm good on that one. The next one's going to be pretty quick for me as well. Rutgers and Wisconsin, 44 total, 13-point favorite for Wisconsin at home. The only guy I've got is Braylon Allen, and I have quite a bit of interest in him. So I'm going to blank. Oh, Malusi. I was going to blank on the name there for a minute. Ches Malusi is out for the year. Should give much more of a workload to Braylon Allen, kind of the workload we've been wanting to have him to have all year. Now he's at 8,400. He's getting work in the pass game. He's going to probably get 15 to 20 carries at least in this one. I think he's a very good play. There's a lot of good 5 to 6K running backs, which is going to keep his ownership down as well. But I think there's enough value. We'll get to one at receiver here in a little bit. I think that you can definitely get up to him if you want to. So he's a guy that I would definitely want exposure to, and one of the top, if you're paying up, the top running back on the slate for me. The rest of the game is a no-go. I can't play anybody else.
No. No argument from me here. I mean, At Wisconsin, Rutgers on the road. Just sounds. This is gonna sound kind of jacked up, but about as cool as cancer. I'm not gonna tune in to this one. So,
Yep,
Allen,
I'm good on that one. I'm going to keep it moving. Allen or pass for sure.
Yep.
This next one, Washington State, is a 3.5-point dog on the road to UCLA. I don't
I love Cameron Ward.
understand that. I think the 3.5 and the money line for Washington State is very in play.
Yes, love it.
Cameron Ward, I've got him. I've got my rankings up, so anybody who has access to the sheet, be sure to go into the top targets tab and check out the
He's
rankings.
locked.
I've got some notes there. He is number 2 in the quarterback rankings, behind Jaden Daniels for me. For some reason, I don't have him. I have him highlighted as core on the main one and not on this one. But he is a core play for me. I don't think he gets hardly any ownership either, which makes him even more of a top option. Josh
He's
Kelly, Kyle
overlooked.
Williams are both very top receiver plays for me. Carlos Hernandez is in play for value. There's no Lincoln Victor tomorrow, so we saw what those guys did against Oregon State. I think both are, or all three are in play, but Hernandez
That's
is
your
more
value.
of the,
Yeah, that's your value stack right there.
yeah, 8,600, 6K and 54 for Kelly and Williams, and then you got 39 for Hernandez. I will say Hernandez is more the guy who's going to have, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends with 5 for 50 tomorrow. He's the slot guy. Doesn't have a very high depth of target. I think it was like 2 against Oregon State. Kelly and Williams are much more the downfield threats. They're going to probably get the touchdowns, and they're just way too cheap. Definitely right in behind Neighbors and Brian Thomas and Luther Burden in that other game for me. I was running some teams, and I've talked about a little bit in the chat about how I've been running some of these contest sims on Saber Sim for college football too.
Was it in chat or in private chat?
Oh, probably, I think it must have been the other chat, yeah. But I just ran a couple of those before we hopped on, and I didn't have this guy highlighted at all. Didn't mess with his projection, and Nakia Watson is showing up in some of these optimals at 5,200 at this projection. I'm not sure what to think about that, but
Nokia yeah. Watson.
Yeah, not sure what to think about that one, but he is showing up, so do with that what you may.
I remember that name from last year, honestly. Nokia Watson.
He's showing. So I don't want to get into how these break down completely as far as the inner workings of these contest stems and try to explain those. But in the top 150 ROI lineups that I ran, he was showing up in 43, almost a third of those lineups, which is absurd to me, and that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay attention to science, right?
Yep. On the other side, you've got you could maybe throw a run back with Jamichael Sturdivant and Logan Loya, 4,600 for him are in play. Carson Steele also in play as well there. So that's really all I've got. Definitely a ton of interest in the Washington State side.
Yes,
that's all I've got in that one. So the little one is completely waking up and not going back. So I'm probably going to have to move pretty quick here.
All right, let's move. Clemson.
Clemson, Wake Forest.
Another cold beverage real quick. Go ahead, introduce it.
Yep. Wake Forest is a big dog here, 52.5 total. Shipley and Tyler Brown for Clemson are very in play, 64 and 5,300. Both are taking kind of the lead of this offense. Brown has had a couple big games here recently. Shipley just gets a ton of work. On the other side for Wake, I guess I thought it was Desmond, but it's apparently Demond Claiborne. Getting a lot of work here. We've seen it in the past with Wake. They like to split running back carries a lot, and they're doing that exactly here. And Claiborne's only 3,300, so he's in play, but that's about all I've got. Don't want to stack this game or anything like that.
No, I mean, Shipley or Maffa is it.
Maffa's in play too for GPP.
Yeah. Shipley or Maffa.
Tech and Florida State, 23.5-point dogs on the road, 53 total. This is one of those. We saw Drones last week have a massive game.
Your boy, yeah.
He is only 5,400,
right?
Yeah. I think he's in play for GPPs. I don't love it because this offense just can't move in some of these games, but he just has so many designed runs. It just takes one for him to break. And the thing about Drones is if you are going to play him, you better be stacking up this other side, because if Tech even keeps it within a couple touchdowns for a while, Jordan Travis and these receivers are going to murder us. So that's about all I've got. I think the receivers are in play if you want to one-off this game. Keon Coleman, Jaheim Bell, and Johnny Wilson.
Coleman and Travis Dunn.
Yeah. Travis is in play, but I think you're going to need some help from the Tech offense if he's going to get there, personally.
Yep. All right.
Syracuse and North Carolina, a couple top plays in this game. This is a 60 total. I could see it shooting a little bit. Tez Walker, 3K, just became eligible. Supposedly he's going to get some good work here.
3K, wow.
Yeah, he was supposed to be their top receiver coming into the year, so I think they get him worked in pretty good here. And I think he just comes preloaded in cash lineups. And then LaQuinn Allen on the other side, 5,800, gets tons of work for Syracuse. Some working in the passing game too. One of the top running back plays due to volume on the slate. And then you've got Drake May and Amarian Hampton, who both are in play in GPPs for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, Schrader, he might be a little play there. Uh-oh. Little man acting up, Dane. All right,
we're good. We'll keep it rolling.
Bama and A&M.
I got a little crying fit going on, but Bama and A&M is a 46 total. I'm out on this game completely. I can just jump ahead if you want.
Wow. All right, let me take a gander here. I can see why you're out. Only thing I would be looking at would be Noah Thomas for A&M. And that's it. 5,300, 4 tutties. Keep it moving.
Yeah, we've got Purdue and Iowa, pretty much another cross-off game for me. 38.5 total. I don't want to touch much in this game.
I wish I never saw
Iowa
that.
Goes to a backup quarterback with McNamara out for the year. Deacon Hill, who's completed 40% of his passes so far.
Yeah, you spent too much time on it. I didn't even like it.
Yeah, I did spend way too much time already.
Yeah, there's too much energy, Dan.
What do you got in UCF and Kansas? Because I think it's a pretty good game for fantasy from a fantasy perspective.
Ooh, taking in. Ooh, so we got 64.5 game total. Both teams over 30. You got to get a piece of this. Kansas at home. I mean, you gotta have a piece of Devin Neal. Got to. And then Kobe Hudson or Townsend as the run back. So yeah. Neal, Hudson, or Townsend for me on that game. You?
Yeah, so definitely Devin Neal's the top option. I think RJ Harvey is very in play for UCF as well. Like both the running backs. I think Jason Bean's going to get quite a bit of ownership because he's 6,700 in this game. I don't love Bean, and you can play him by himself if you want, but he does project well for this game environment at home. I think it's just if he was 7,500, he wouldn't be getting as much ownership, but I think he is definitely in play. Not one of my favorites, though. I mean, he's not one that I'm just plugging in first and then building around. So if I fall in that range, I'm fine with it. But he's not going to be a priority unless I was just full stacking this game. Luke Grimm would be my favorite pass catcher, 3 touchdowns on the year. All 3 of those top guys, Arnold, Skinner, and Grimm, have a 16% target share. Kobe Hudson, it would be my favorite receiver on the UCF side. And then Plumlee is expected back. I seem to never get him right, but he's got massive upside with his legs.
It's kind of hard to ignore 64.5 total. But just getting it right is what you kind of just said. There's multiple people that can get there and get that game to 64.5, but what pieces do it is the X factor. So I have kind of zero interest on that one as well. I might have a one-off, but it's not a top sack priority for me. He's got little Dane up there in the picture. Let's go.
He's ready to go. Last game. We got Vandy in Florida. Actually got some interest in this one. One spot. It'd be the Florida backfield. 18.5 point favorites. I'm not scared of this Vandy defense at all. And Montrell Johnson, ETN is out or doubtful for this one. So Johnson, I think, steps into a bigger role. They could definitely mix in Trayon Webb. He's 4,300 and also in play as well. But I really like Montrell Johnson. Other than that, I'm pretty much out on this game. I'm never going to play a passing game that's led by Graham Mertz.
No, Mr. Mertz isn't going to get it done for anyone. So Pearsall is, kind of on an island. If he gets, 3 catches for 100 yards and a tutty, if it burns me, cool. But yeah, backfield's where you want to go. Other side,
like how's he 74, but Neighbors and Thomas are 1,000 cheaper?
Yep, it makes zero sense. DK just asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, so we'll do again kind of our favorite off the board play, and then I'm going to add one more for I'm going to add one more play for this one. We're going to call it the science play.
Gosh, damn.
The science Sims play, and we know that one's going to be old Nakia Watson. No idea why he's showing up in that many lineups, but he's the sim play of the slate.
Nakia Watson. All right, that's what you're feeling.
Now that's the old science play, but definitely not the my favorite off the board play. I'm trying to pull up some of these ownerships so I can see a couple of the guys that I'm. Oh, my off the board play is easy.
He said easy. This guy's already been studying it.
Cameron Ward, 6%. His receivers are going to get ownership, but he's not, which is kind of crazy with a quarterback that has his rushing upside.
Love
Cameron Ward is my favorite. probably my favorite play of the entire slate. What I'm probably going to do as I'm running him, he's showing up right now in of those 150 that I was talking about. He's showing up in just 15%. I'm going to bump his projection about 5 points and see how many he shows up in there.
All right. Well, I know it's going to sound crazy. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I'm going to go back to my team. Cade Stover, man. Cade Stover.
Yeah, I think any of that passing game is in play as an off-the-board option because none are getting ownership. Let me pull up what they're kind of showing at right now.
You can get
Harrison and Egbuka 2% and Stover 3%. So there you go.
You can get old Mr. McCord for a discount of 8,100. What was he 2 weeks ago? Like almost 9K or something. And then he gets a terrible defense this week. I think he surprises some people and goes off, and they have a big game. I see a shootout here. Maybe little what's his name? Talua. They go off and get a couple points on the board, 21 to 28 late. But yeah, I see a lot of points here.
Yeah, so I bumped his Ward's projection by 5 points, and he's showing up now in over 40%. Brady Cook is showing up in 65% of those top 150 ROI lineups. So,
jeez, just because of last week,
some ownership.
Yep,
just because that game stack.
Yep.
Let's see if we can't get Easton's favorite play.
All right, Easton, Lil Dane, what do you want?
Give us your favorite pick? He's going to get shy on us.
Yep.
All
right, big guy. Well,
it's drones. He said drones.
No, he did not say it. That was force fed from his pops.
Kyron Drones.
Jesus. All right,
All right, when he goes for 40 tomorrow, we'll have to get this play every week.
Nope, that's not going to happen.
All right, good luck to everybody. Like I said, my top targets are up all the way down to stacks. We've got the stack tool that we put together at the start of the year. And just for reference, you can see the top two.
Man, that thing looks good.
Stacks are LSU and Missouri in the same game. Double stacks are the top two. That's going to be popular, but look who follows them right into third. Washington State. And good luck to everybody tomorrow.
That top stack tool looks good, man.
Yep. All right.
Later.
I'll be in chat. Good luck. If anything changes in the morning, we'll definitely have it in the chat.
Deuces, Knuckles.